Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Tower. So this is just a progress update video for the month of June. It's been about a month since the last progress update, and so let's start off with the overall lifetime stats. My coins is now at 2.3Q. It was, I think the last month it was 1.2Q. And stones now at about just under 97,000. So currently right now, research is still my limiting factor. I've been trying to get my researches up as quickly as possible. And I think I can sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel now, because at least for most of the important ones, I can sort of see when I'm going to work on them. In terms of my farming, I'm currently farming tier 15. It's giving me about between 10 and 11Q per run, thereabouts. So I guess we can work through the tabs as usual. So this is my typical farming setup. For the attack tab, I just keep range at minimum value. I lock it with the free upgrade mastery card. And then Ren chance and Ren armor, I keep them at level 200. In terms of my defense tab, I don't need any of the EHP related stuff. So because I'm running minimum range, I keep my shockwave size at 1.65. This just gives me enough shockwave radius to hit all the enemies that are within my tower's range. And the reason why I don't want this to be too large is because I don't want the enemies to be pushed back beyond my tower range, and as a result of that, I lose out on some coin per minute. Landmine damage, I can probably max it out, but the last few levels are quite expensive, so I don't see a point. I can just let free ups take care of it in run. In terms of my utility tab, nothing much has changed. Attack level skip is still at 0, and health level skip is currently at 504. No reason why it's at 504. I typically just keep it at 500, but I had a bit of leftover coin from the previous run, so I've just decided to pump them into health level skips. Alright, now onto our ultimate weapons. There's been quite a lot of development over the past month over here. So for Chain Lightning, nothing has changed. It's still 898 times damage multiplier, quantity of 4, chance of 17%. Ideally, I would like to get this up at some point. Smart Missiles, I haven't touched it as well. Ideally, I would like to get a couple more levels into quantity, a couple more levels into damage, but that's a problem for future me. So currently, I am working on my Death Wave, and as you can see, my Death Wave, well, it doesn't really say over here, but it's 80 seconds cooldown, and I would like to bring it down closer to 50 seconds. In terms of my Chrono Field, I do want to get a level or 2 into Chrono Loop. Hopefully I can do that this month. We shall see. For my landmines, I haven't touched it at all, so I still don't have enough stones. I haven't found the stones to get quantity 6, but at some point I will get it. So by the way, landmine damage is actually pretty decent if you're running something like I am with very short range, and if you decided to use Space Displacer, it's going to be doing quite a lot of damage because of the landmine radius that we can get. The landmine radius is going to cover a large portion of your tower's range, which is going to give quite a lot of damage just from inner landmines. Golden Tower, over the past month I got GT 11. I would like to get to GT 12 as my next milestone, but that would come after my Death Wave is brought down to 50 seconds, I guess. Oh yes, another major development over the past month is that I've worked on my Poison Swamp a little bit now. So duration is now at 75 seconds. My damage, I think it was previously 200 times. It's now at 420 times. So I got a couple of clicks into it. I also unlocked Poison Swamp Plus and got it up to level 3. And I've been really liking it. Poison Swamp Plus, I think a couple of months ago, I made a video where I talked about my plans for version 26. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to develop my Poison Swamp, just because I kind of liked how the ultimate weapon looked at that time. And so I'm really happy that I've gotten some development into it. For now, I think I will keep my Poison Swamp just the way it is and instead work on Chrono Loop so that I can get the rotation speed a bit faster. And so the way it works is with good stuns and so on from my Poison Swamp labs. Having the enemies rotate around my tower is going to generate more stuns. It's going to keep them further away from my tower for longer, and as a result of that, more time for Poison Swamp's death creep to take on more damage to them. Black Hole, I haven't touched it yet. At some point, I might get my duration up closer to 38 seconds. Spotlight, I also haven't touched it yet. At some point, I will bring the angles up towards maybe 70 degrees or so for a start. Right, so that's for the main tab. Looking at enhancements, for my farming build, this is how it typically looks like. Because I have Poison Swamp Plus, Ren Armor is pretty decent now, so I just typically keep them around 2, attack speed at 1.25. Under the health tab, I put a bit into landmine damage just because health isn't doing anything for me. Orb size, I keep it at 1.4. And for the enhancements tab, so right now I'm trying to work on my coin bonus, get that up as high as possible. Free upgrades, I would like to get this up as high as possible. Cells per kill, I'm going to keep it at 1.6 for the time being, until maybe eventually if I've gotten more coin, I might take this up a little bit more. Level skips, I think for now, I might keep it at 1.28, but eventually I would like to bring it to about 1.3. As you can see, it's getting a bit pricey for me now. And yeah, so that wraps up enhancements. Now let's move on to modules. So there have also been quite a lot of developments in my modules over the past month. Module levels are getting very close to 201 now, so I'm really looking forward to that, because then I get the extra substats, which I can then roll in hopefully some better stats. So in terms of my modules over the past month, as you can see, I got my Galaxy Compressor to 5-star. I also managed to get my Dimension Core up to 5-star. And Multiverse Nexus is currently at 4-star, but I'm lacking just one copy and then I would get it to 5-star. Anti-Cube Portal is at 4-star. I think I am also just lacking one copy. Yeah, lacking one copy to get it to 5-star as well. And the major news is that I got my Black Hole Digester to Ancestral. So all that whining that I made over the past month in the other videos has clearly paid off. I've managed to get this Black Hole Digester, that last copy of Black Hole Digester, to get my Mythic Plus Black Hole Digester to Ancestral. And on top of that, earlier today I pulled one more copy of Black Hole Digester, which is great because right now the issue is that, as you can see from the substats, I am missing coins per kill and health level skips. So I do need to roll in those two substats, and probably what I'll do is I would wait for 201. Hopefully by then I would have pulled a second copy of a Black Hole Digester, which means I can get this 0-star Black Hole Digester to 1-star, and that unlocks the 201 effect, and so I've got 3 chances to roll 2 substats, which I guess should save me quite a lot of stones. Other than that, I don't think there have been many changes to my modules, but as you can see, just touching on from the previous point, I'm currently rolling core effect bands and generator effect bands in my labs, just to prepare myself for the eventual pain of rolling module substats when I reach 201. So one thing that I think is important for me next in my progression would be to transition into Black Hole Digester. And I think the way things are going right now, I would probably just funnel my stones into my Death Wave cooldown, and when my Multiverse Nexus gets to 201, I would probably roll out the GT cooldown substat into the Mythic version, and at least based on the calculations that I have, from 70 seconds onwards, I should be able to achieve a GoBot sync with a Mythic substat. So I'm looking forward to that, but I think given how difficult it is to reroll all these kinds of things, I want my tower to be, I guess, as set up as possible first before I embark on the very painful journey of rolling. As you can see, I've been quite impatient. The reason why I've got no reroll dice left is because of this bugger over here. So this is the best that I've gotten it to so far. It's taken about, I think, 1.6, 1.7 million reroll shots, reroll dice so far. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but at some point I guess when I reach 201 with my Black Hole Digester, that's when I would reroll it and hope for the best. I'm really excited to see how the overall coin gain would be at the time. Moving on to researchers. So for my researchers, currently these are, well, I'll just scroll through and talk through the relevant researchers. So shockwave size is something I would want to max out eventually. Especially for tournaments, having a big shockwave is good because it can kind of push the enemies further out, hopefully beyond the range of my Poison Swamp, and that would allow me to potentially stun them again as they come back in. So at some point I will get this in. Unfortunately, as with everyone, we are all constrained by our lab slots. Lab coin discount, I was told to get it to level 50. That would be a good stopping point, so I'm two levels away. Currently I'm working on the battle condition reduction. It's going to level 8. As you can see, it's very costly. It's 130.24Q just for the level 8 research. I might take a break from this lab once this is done, and then just use that to, you know, for instance, finish up shockwave size, finish up my lab coin discount, and so on. I would like to get some work done into crit factor and damage, and that is because now that I have gotten a second damaging ultimate weapon, my first being Chain Lightning, second being a developed Poison Swamp, I think having higher base is going to generally boost the amount of damage that those two ultimate weapons will be dishing out anyway. Attack speed, I'm not too worried about it. I don't seem to have issues like in the form of taking chip damage and so on, so I'll probably leave that on the back burner for a bit. Same thing for damage per meter, because I don't have range mastery, nor do I have Spotlight Plus. I think I can sort of take a backseat on this. Once max Ren armor is done, it's almost done. So I've been working on this lab because I was told that it's great for Poison Swamp Plus. My Super Crit Multiplier and Super Crit Chance, I would like to get this to level 10. At some point, Wall Rebuild Invincibility and War Thorns, I would probably put them in, but this is not a high priority for now. Cash bonus, also not a very high priority. Once I have the lab slots for it, I would probably go for more Swarm Stun time and Swarm Stun chance, maybe max out these two labs. and also put in my Swamp Wren, which is currently at level 18. So this, at least for this lab, it's quite a long lab, but because of how powerful Poison Swamp is in tournaments, I would like to get this lab done sooner rather than later. As you can see, I have trouble finishing my labs. So even stuff like Super Tower bonus, it's not maxed out at this stage, and I've got Super Tower Mastery maxed for quite a long time now. As you can see, it's an 18-day lab, and even though I know it's good to max it out, between 1.84 times to 1.9 times, it's going to be sitting and holding up an entire lab slot for quite a while. I think I might be able to get better bang for my buck just by maybe slotting in crit factor and damage, which are just over a day in terms of lab speed ups. So yeah, I don't bother with the math and so on, but at least I would rather see constant incremental progress than maybe a long duration lab just for a little bit of progress. Right now, I would actually like to get one level of ban perks in, just so that I can ban off the Poison Swamp Radius perk, and I think that might make my Poison Swamp look a little bit more, I'm not sure what's the right word for that, more normal looking, because otherwise in my runs it's going to be bigger than the black hole. Thankfully, I do have, and we'll get to this later, I do have the damage limiter, so that probably helps me not kill the enemies anyway. Auto pick ranking, I would probably benefit from getting another 2 or 3 levels into it. Amplify bot is probably my next goal for bringing up the labs into, just because I'm almost done with my Amplify bot upgrades using medals. So I think it would be good to bring this up as well. Golden bot duration, it's been sitting around, but as you can tell, it's a 20-day lab, very long. I'm left with 3 levels. At some point I will get to it. So earlier I used to be working on fast enemy speed, boss health, all of these enemy labs. I still think they are good labs, but at least for me right now, I think I am not having issues with fast enemies just yet. So I might get to working on these labs again in future, but I still have to plan it out and see how I want to go about upgrading these labs. Chronofield range is something that I would really want to max out. So I think in the previous update video I mentioned that I'm not sure whether to max it out or not. Currently, having looked at my own gameplay as well as others from the Discords, I think it would do me a lot of good to max out this lab. And the reason for that is because I get to slow the enemies a lot further out from my tower range, and typically that's where my Poison Swamp is, so it might give me a bit more time to just deal that extra tick or 2 of damage on the enemies. In a Mind Blast Radius, I think I would want to max this out. I'm left with 5 levels and it's not a long lab, so at some point I'll get to it. For me right now, the core effect bans, I might bring it up to level 5, complete the level 5 one, and then I might take it off. Generator effect bans, depending on the cost, I might get the next level. I think it goes up by a factor of 10, so maybe the next level would be 4Q. That's still affordable for me, so maybe bring one more level into both of these two. My current mastery that I'm working on is Slow Aura Mastery. At least for me right now, rays are starting to become an issue, so having this Slow Aura Mastery is definitely going to help. In addition to that, I also need Nuke Mastery, so that's somewhere down the line. Lightning Amplify Scatter, I don't have any issues with scatter enemies even in the later stages of my run currently, so maybe at some point in future I might decide to use it. For the remainder of the labs, I don't think I will be working on them anytime soon. As you can tell, of course for the EHP related labs, they are still relatively underdeveloped. Maybe if at some point in future, if I wanted to up my landmine damage, this is a very cheap lab, so maybe I might do that. Just for the extra damage, and even though landmine damage isn't very good, damage is still damage to me. In terms of utilities, I don't think anything here is worth upgrading where I'm at. In terms of ultimate weapon research, as you can see, still having PTSD from Chronofield Duration lab. This lab is probably going to sit here all the way until I'm ready to push for maxing out my Chronofield duration in the workshops. Chronofield reduction percent, I don't really need that, but if hybrid becomes a thing in future, then maybe I might bring back this lab. Missile barrage not useful. Chain thunder at some point if hybrid becomes a thing again. Because of how short my cooldowns would be for my death wave, I'm thinking that when I eventually have some time, I might slot in death wave amplifier and death wave armor stripping. And at least for milestone runs in tier 18, having that extra amplifier might help with my damage. Inner landmine chrono jump, I presume it's a good lab. It's an expensive lab definitely, but until I unlock it, I'm just going to leave it over here. So these are my current masteries. So I think between the last update and now, nothing much has changed. I can't remember which were my previous masteries. I think it was Cash Mastery that I've now completed, and it might have also been Berserker Mastery. So those were the two masteries over the past month that I worked on. I should unlock my Nuke Mastery. Oh, well, we'll get to my unlocks later on when we get to the card section. Perks, I don't think there's anything I need from here. After unlocking or after completing my Amplify bot, I think the next bot I would unlock would be the Thunder bot. And I mean, I haven't even completed my labs for Amplify bot, so I guess it's going to be at least a month or so before I look on those things. For the enemies tab, I don't think any of this I would touch it anytime soon. Maybe if I wanted, I might do fast enemy health just to tap the fast enemies a bit quicker during tournaments, especially under fast battle conditions. It's quite annoying to work with. I'm also at the stage in tournaments where towards the end of my runs, I'm just not doing enough damage to kill the fast enemies and ranged enemies that I need to, and I end up having to juggle them. So maybe when eventually I have the lab slots for it, well, making enemies easier to kill is never a bad thing, I think. So in terms of modules, I think my modules labs are almost all done. So I think that brings me to, I guess from a high level perspective, the only econ lab that I'm left with is just maxing out my golden bot duration, and then once that is done, I'm done with econ related labs and I can just focus solely on building up my damage. So in terms of the masteries, for the time being, I do need to get my new mastery unlocked, so that would be 750 stones. It's not really a priority for me right now because at least the plan that I have in mind is to spend this month focusing on econ related stuff. So unless I reach a point in my runs where even with a maxed out slow aura mastery I'm still dying to raise, then maybe I might consider unlocking the nuke mastery. But otherwise I might just wait for after slow aura mastery is done to work on nuke mastery. And the reason why I'm holding off on this mastery is because to do black hole digester farming, I still need wave skip mastery. This is something that would help me get very bursty coins. So this is, I guess, taking more priority than nuke mastery for me right now. And I think extra op mastery would also be good. Crit coin mastery, I'm going to hold off on that just because I was told it's not very good. And yeah, so I think for my damage related mastery, maybe crit chance and range might be the next ones, but it's still so far into the future. I don't want to plan too far into the future. Just because, you know, the meta might change and so on. Oh yes, I should probably show off my tournament setup as well. So for tournaments, I can't get to tournaments because this lab is in here. So let's just slot in a random one. So in my tournaments, I run with the same kind of setup for my attack, defense, and utility. Yep, so it's very similar. Maybe I might have a little bit more. I might just increase my attack range during the run of the tournament. But in terms of my enhancements, so just to compare between farming, it's all at 2. For tournaments, my tournament setup, it's at 2.35, and attack speed is also slightly higher for, I guess, more peace of mind in juggling enemies. As you can see right now, the upgrade costs are pretty high. It's more than a run's worth of coin for me. So I think it's good enough. And the way I get all of this coin, all of this extra damage just comes from the utility tab. So if you compare it between the farming run, I have brought my cash up from 1.7 to 2. My coin bonus and cells per kill bonus, I've just brought it down all the way to 0. Level skips is at 1.26 over here. I might bring this up to 1.28 as well. And free upgrades is about the same amount as well. In terms of the defense tab, it's more or less the same, maybe a bit more into op size, but I don't think it makes a difference. So mainly for between my tournament runs and my farming runs, I just shift the coins from coins and cells per kill into damage plus, ran armor, crit factor plus, and super crit multiplier plus. Alright, on to the vault. So for the vault, over the past month, I got my bot cooldown slider. That is just to prepare myself for black hole digester farming. I have also got the damage cap slider, and for those of you who are wondering, this damage cap slider is the thing that makes my farming runs, when I do my farming runs, it makes my damage appear red as a result. So the way it works is you just click on your damage tab and you can adjust whatever damage you want. If it's at 100%, you see your damage is white, and if you just reduce the damage down to whatever amount you want, the damage becomes red. And the reason why we want this damage slider, or why I wanted this damage slider, is just because I don't want to kill the enemies too quickly. And why is my... oh yes, I need to change my setup. Sorry, give me a minute. Right, so back onto the vault. I think the rest, I haven't invested much into my harmony tree this month. Oh right, yes, I got the 5 workshop presets. So that allows me to auto or have the workshop presets in my in my workshops. And right, onto the power tree. So I made a bit of investment over the past month into the power tree for my tournament rewards. So this 2 meter to bot range is great. I like it. I've got a 5% boost to cash, which is great for project funding. 5% boost to coins per kill, that's also great for farming. I don't really need this enemy attack skip plus, but I really wanted this enemy health skip plus. And so with this bonus, currently I'm sitting at about 60.8% enemy health level skip in my farming ranks. Then I've used my keys to, I guess, work up the damage side of the tree. So damage per meter, 1% to crit chance, 5% boost to damage. I would like to get this super crit chance and then just work my way up the tree from here. So I think having more ultimate weapon damage is going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to the next aspect of the power tree. In terms of guilds, I still haven't done a Guardian respec. Right now all my gems are going into pulling modules and I've got a gambling problem, I think. And so I guess for the fetch, this is how my fetch chip looks like. I know that there is an effective path kind of spreadsheet going around. I honestly cannot be bothered with figuring out how to read that spreadsheet and keeping track of it. So I'm just going to upgrade whatever I think is decent. And 100 seconds, 21% chance of find, 7% chance of double find. I think that is good enough for now. This is how my steel chip looks like currently. Again, I have no idea if this is an effective strategy, but what I do know is that my steel chip is severely underperforming my fetch chip, and logically I should remove or do a respec and remove all of these bits over here and funnel them into fetch. But as I mentioned, it's going to cost 150 gems, and I just haven't found the allowance for it because of my gambling habit. So in terms of the store, currently I've bought out all the coin bonuses. Next, I guess I would get the bot range. I also got fetch unlocked. This one, health regen by 2%, it will probably be the last unlock. So mech hit would be the next one, bot range by 2 meters, and then after that I would just go into all of these items over here. And finally, I guess we can talk about tournaments. So tournaments have actually been great over the past month. If we look at the history, since the last progress update, right after that I got my first ever rank 1 finish in Legends. I got a very lucky bracket for that one. And then after that, it's just been bouncing between rank 2 and rank 3. And I got a couple of other first place finishes. I think I've gotten 4 first place finishes since then. The main reason why if you look from the previous month, I was hovering between 3 and 5 position. Now I'm hovering between 1 and 3. This is not completely accurate as well, because chances are I've joined easier brackets. I think on the tower.lol there are brackets, or the worst brackets that I can get nowadays are, I guess, finishing at around rank 7 thereabouts. So I've been quite lucky over the past month in the sense that I haven't actually gotten any really bad brackets. And between 3rd place and 1st place, the keys are all very good. So at 3rd place you get 15 keys, 2nd place you get 20 keys, 1st place you get 25 keys. So it's definitely helped with my overall vault progression. And the only difference is that I have invested about 3,000 stones into my poison swamp over the past month, and that has helped me bump up my overall rankings in tournaments. So yeah, I'm really glad that poison swamp is paying off. But as I mentioned, and I guess most people already know, Poison Swarm does take quite a lot of investment to make it useful, especially in the form of Chrono Loop. So where my Chrono Loop is sitting, it's severely underdeveloped, and having this bumped up to level 7 or 8 is going to allow me to spin the boss around my tower at least once more, which would ideally give me an additional stun on the boss and more time for my Poison Swarm Ren to take and build damage on the boss. And right, so that is it for the progress update. I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.